Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to Great English Podcast. I'm your host, Catherine, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-hosts, Mark and Sonia. Hey, Mark and Sonia.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Catherine and Sonia.
Hello, everyone. It's great to be here.
Today, we're diving into some significant life changes that have recently happened in our lives. Have you ever experienced a significant life change? If so, how did it impact your life? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. But before we start our conversation, let's take a moment to discuss the importance of the English language. Mark, what are the benefits of learning English?
Oh, there are so many benefits. Learning English can open up a lot of opportunities. Personally, I've been able to work with companies from all over the world and earn money in dollars. It's amazing how a common language can bridge gaps between cultures and industries.
That's incredible. If you want to progress in your career, make money, or communicate with people from different countries without hesitation, learning English is very important. But unfortunately, we don't really have a good environment to practice English here, right, Sonia?
Exactly, Catherine. The English taught in our schools is very basic. It only helps you pass the exams. I have many friends who got the highest marks in English, but when it comes to speaking, they're blank. They can't even speak a few lines.
That's a big problem I've noticed too. So, Mark, I'm curious, what are some cool ways to learn English?
The first step is to get used to hearing it. Make it a habit to listen to English news, podcasts, and watch English content instead of your local language. The more you listen and repeat, the better you get. Another great method is to engage in conversations with native speakers either in person or through language exchange apps.
That's a great tip. I've heard about a technique called shadowing. Can you explain that, Mark?
Sure. Shadowing means that whenever someone is speaking, you mimic or copy them as closely as possible. This gives you practical training and is a great way to improve your pronunciation and fluency. It's like having a mini conversation with yourself, but with real-world context.
Fantastic. We'll share more tips in upcoming episodes. Now, let's dive into our main topic. Sonia, what's been keeping you busy lately? Any exciting changes?
Oh, definitely. I just bought my first house and recently moved in. It's been a whirlwind, but I'm thrilled.
Wow, that's huge. Where did you live before purchasing this house?
I used to rent a small apartment. Owning my own place has always been a dream, and now I finally have the space to make it my own.
That sounds exciting, Sonia. Can you tell us more about the rental process before you bought your house?
Sure. In the US, most people rent before buying. You start by searching online for rental properties. Once you find a place you like, you fill out a rental application. Some smaller landlords might not require one, but that could be risky since you might not have a clear idea of what you're getting into.
Exactly. In your case, how did you find your current house?
I found it while I was still renting my apartment. I would spend evenings browsing real estate websites and going to open houses on weekends. The whole process took a while, but it was worth it.
Absolutely. One of the biggest things to consider when buying a house is the upfront cost. Can you explain that for our listeners, Mark?
Sure. The upfront cost includes the down payment, which is typically around 20% of the total price in the US. This can be a hurdle for many people because it requires a significant amount of savings. There are also closing costs, inspection fees, and moving costs to consider.
That's right. We struggled to save enough for a down payment for a long time. A hurdle is a problem or difficulty that must be overcome. What about the additional expenses, Mark?
There are many additional expenses, like closing costs, which include fees for processing the loan, inspections, and sometimes even homeowner association fees. It's important to understand all the costs involved and be financially prepared before making the decision to purchase a house.
I've heard that the real estate market has become challenging for younger people. What's your experience with that, Sonia?
Yes, housing prices have increased significantly, especially in desirable areas. My partner and I bought our first house much later than our parents did. It's important to be aware of these factors and be prepared for the additional time and financial investment required. It can be tough, but with proper planning, it's achievable.
You mentioned working with a realtor. How did that help, Sonia?
A realtor guided us through the entire process, handling much of the legwork. Initially, I thought I could manage without one, but their expertise was invaluable. They helped us find listings, negotiate prices, and navigate the complexities of the buying process.
Did the realtor call you often?
Yes, sometimes up to 10 times a day. They coordinated meetings, inspections, and contract timing. Despite the frequent calls, their help made the process much smoother.
How much did they charge?
In our case, the seller covered the realtor's commission, which was 6%. This was a significant advantage, as it didn't add to our out-of-pocket expenses. It's something buyers should consider when looking at properties.
When you decided to move, what was the first thing you did?
The first thing I did was get some boxes. I bought some and also got extra boxes from grocery stores. A few weeks before the movers came, I started packing everything up. It was a lot of work, but doing it gradually helped manage the stress.
Did you pack everything at once or gradually?
I did it gradually. I started packing things I didn't need for day-to-day life about a week before the actual move. It helped make the process less overwhelming and more organized.
What about moving the heavy furniture and items? Did you do that by yourself?
No way. I hired movers. They helped carry all our heavy furniture, like couches, bookshelves, and kitchen tables. It made the move a lot easier and less stressful. Yes, definitely. They had to park far away because of the limited parking in my downtown area. Plus, I lived on the second floor, so they had to navigate a lot of stairs. It was a bit of a disaster, but I'm glad I didn't have to do all that heavy lifting myself, especially since I was newly pregnant at the time.
Wow, that must have been tough. Moving is never easy, but it sounds like hiring movers was worth it for peace of mind.
Absolutely. Despite the challenges, having professional help was invaluable. If you're moving, I highly recommend considering professional movers, especially for heavy or bulky items.
So, Sonia, what was the most surprising part of the moving process for you?
I think it was how emotional it was to leave my old apartment. Even though I was excited about the new house, there were so many memories tied to that old place. It was a mix of excitement and nostalgia.
That makes sense. Moving can be a very emotional experience. What advice would you give to someone about to go through a similar process?
I'd say to plan ahead and stay organized. Start packing early and label your boxes clearly. Also, take the time to say goodbye to your old place. It might sound silly, but it helps with the transition.
Great advice, Sonia. Catherine, have you had any significant life changes recently?
Actually, yes. I recently started a new job that allows me to work remotely. It's been a huge change from my previous routine, and it has opened up a lot of opportunities for travel and personal growth.
That's fantastic, Catherine. How has working remotely changed your daily life?
It's given me a lot more flexibility. I can work from anywhere, which has allowed me to visit family more often and even explore new places while working. It's been a bit of an adjustment, but overall, it's been a positive change.
Remote work is becoming more common. Any tips for staying productive while working from home?
Definitely. Create a dedicated workspace, stick to a routine, and make sure to take regular breaks. It's important to set boundaries between work and personal time to maintain a healthy balance.
Great tips, Catherine. It's amazing how different life changes can impact us in various ways. Whether it's buying a house, learning a new language, or adjusting to remote work, each change brings new challenges and opportunities.
Absolutely. And it's important to embrace these changes and learn from them. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, Mark and Sonia, for sharing your experiences and insights. And thanks to our listeners for joining us.
Thanks, everyone. It's been great sharing with you.
Yes, thank you. If you found this podcast helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more episodes like this. Tell us in the comments which topic we should cover next.
Until next time, take care and keep learning.
Bye bye all beautiful listeners.